Hey Geeks! We're back with another sci-fi review, this time reviewing the sci-fi original series, The Expanse, Season 2, Episode 6, titled Paradigm Shift.
And if you haven't seen this episode, you're going to want to skip this video because everything we say after this is going to be a spoiler.
So, given the events of this episode, the title Paradigm Shift is super appropriate. Oh my, it's like everything is changed now. It looks like because of the events of Ganymede, maybe the Cold War between Mars and Earth is going to go hot, because it's kind of ambiguous as to what exactly happened due to the editing, which I think you said is a little bit different than it was in the books.
Yeah, a little bit. Like the books, they skip part of it that that's in the books, but just because you don't see that doesn't mean anything changes, because it's showing you what Draper is thinking. So basically that's all she's recalling, and that's what she's going to report. So like that's why I think they edited that way. So it still works, and it'll eventually explain itself. That, and I mean basically skipping way ahead here to the end of the episode, it looks like there's like some kind of proto-molecule monster that attacked everybody, and Draper's looking out at the UN soldiers running toward them, presumably for help or in retreat or something, and she doesn't see the proto-molecule monster, and so she thinks she's under attack. Yep. So if she reports that, the Cold War is going to go hot. So we skipped way ahead there. First thing in this episode, we see Solomon Epstein, the creator of the Epstein Drive, and it's a super interesting little side story in this episode that I hope we get the conclusion of at some point, because I want to know how he survived, because you gotta figure he did, because he's narrating the story. Yeah. And there's a reason they gave that side story that we probably won't find out about for about 2 more seasons, maybe? 2 whole seasons. Probably, They did show that the torpedoes are powered by the Epstein Drive. Yes. But that's the only thing that we've really seen of it so far. It's not necessarily about the Epstein Drive as it is about what it did for humanity. It is relevant. The story is relevant, even though it kind of seems a little random. They've been talking about the drives the whole time and why now, but there's a reason behind it. And it did say, in his story that, everything is going to change because, Mars is going to go mine the belt and all this kind of stuff, and it just kind of changed the course of humanity. Moving on to Amos. I love Amos. I had wondered how he was going to respond to finding out that Holden and Naomi are a couple, and I was really surprised. He had figured it out way before, and him and Alex had a bet. But in one of the great Amos moments, when Holden asked him, he's like, "No, you're cool, right, that we're together?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's like a sister to me. Of course, I do her, but she's like a sister." I'm like, oh my god, Amos, you're so bad and awesome. And then another great Amos moment is when he saves Alex at the bar, and Alex is like, "What are you doing here? Do you live here?" He's like, "No, I got a room next door." And he's like, "Next door is a brothel." Yeah. He's just like, "Yeah, what? Yeah, and?" I live in a brothel. Okay, what's the big deal? But there's also some tension brewing between Amos and Alex, because Amos bailed Alex out during that fight, and Amos basically tells him, he's like, "You're the kind of person that needs to be protected." And of course, Alex was very offended by that. So the animosity there is coming completely from Alex. Amos doesn't really understand why Alex has a problem with being protected. Like, Amos sees things basically in black and white, and he's like, "You need protected. I can protect you, so I do." And whereas Alex sees things in shades of gray, and he's like, "Oh, he's demasculating me. I can't." He's implying that I can't take care of myself. He's feeling unmanly because he can't do so. And Amos is just like, I don't know. Like, you need protecting. I can protect. Like, I don't get why you're upset. Like, he has no. Yeah. He can't comprehend why. Right. And I think if that tension ever does boil over, it's going to be totally on Alex's side, and he's going to come out getting his ass kicked. But then Amos is the kind of guy that, he looks at Alex and sees a friend who needs to be protected. So if Alex steps up and throws a punch, Amos is going to beat him up
but then help him back up to his feet.
But then help him up and take him to sick bay to get
That's
treated.
just the kind of person Amos is, and that's why he's my favorite character. Moving on to Tycho Station and Fred Johnson. He stole 30 of those nuclear missiles that Earth had fired at Eros, and wow, that can only end badly.
Yeah.
And Holden basically sees that coming, and they have kind of, not really an altercation, but a heated discussion about it.
Yeah, and Holden basically, he's still a little naive and optimistic about humanity in general. So, I mean, Fred Johnson could be right. I mean, we don't live in this time, so we don't really know if he is or not, but he's probably right that just having them gives the OPA, like, talking power.
But Fred Johnson, at his core, he's probably a pretty honorable guy.
Yeah.
I feel like the other people in the OPA really aren't.
Yeah.
And the OPA having this power is probably a bad thing. And then later on, Holden and the Rossi crew decide that, well, Holden basically decides they have to destroy their sample of the protomolecule. And Naomi fakes the launch. And that really surprised me. It's, I don't know, saying that she betrayed Holden is maybe a little strong, but that's about it.
She lied to him, though.
Yeah, she lied to him.
She lied to him, and they're in a relationship, so that's big.
Yeah. And I don't know what... First of all, I don't know exactly what Naomi is necessarily thinking. We don't really get much insight into where she is there.
Yeah,
but,
like, we don't know why she didn't destroy it.
Right. But Holden is super naive here to think that, first of all, that Eros, the Eros protomolecule, was destroyed when it crashed into Venus. That is a huge leap.
Yes, because after Eros is infected, when it's attacked, it suddenly turns into a spaceship and moves. And it not only dodges the original, the Nauvoo, it then dodges the ships that are pursuing it and the missiles, and like, it gets away from everything. So if it has that big of a self-preservation need that it's able to do that, what makes him think that it allowed itself to crash into Venus if it was going to die?
And finally, in this episode, Avasarala. Oh my god, she was so sassy in this episode, and it was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
Yes, she is my favorite character, and this episode, man, she was more my favorite character than she normally is. Like, she was phenomenal with her sassy self.
First of all, in the UN Situation Room, or whatever that is, she handed the UN scientist his ass. Just like, what are you, throw some more science words at us? Come on now. Which I thought was a great line. Kind of diminished him. And then later on, when she's meeting with Ehrenreich, and she tells him, like, look, the Maos can turn themselves in and let us interrogate them, and if they don't, we are going to ruin them. And in doing that, in saying that, she basically put Ehrenreich on notice too. Yeah,
she's letting him know that we do things a certain way so that corporates give us money for when we decide to rerun for office, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, basically, she's forfeiting her next run for office because she wants these corporations to know that they don't rule the government, even though they think they do.
And she's got so much goodwill right now with the public because she basically is the face of the savior of humanity pretty much at this point. Or at least Earth, the savior of Earth.
She's the one who basically was like, we need to trust them. And did it go exactly according to plan? No, but Earth did not. Yeah, Earth did not get hit by Eros, so I call that a win.
So, I mean, she's the poster child. She's the savior of Earth. So she has all this goodwill built up and political capital that she can spend any way she wants. So Ehrenreich better look out. I've been worried about Avasarala. Like, maybe she was playing her, her hand too soon. But maybe not. Man, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's so great.
Okay, I think that's pretty much all we have for this video. If you have anything to add, let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this review, tell us by dropping a like on it, share this video with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.